What's going on, everybody? My name is Dom of X. Today we're going to be looking at all of the comic release date updates. Yes, it is that time of the week, or I guess happy Monday if you're watching, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday. Let's go ahead and get to it. We're going to go over the Marvel side first. There are 3 subsequent delays for the Marvel Knights The World to Come miniseries done by Christopher Priest and Joe Quesada. Joe Quesada, of course, being the main man behind Marvel Knights way back in the day, and Christopher Priest being on a Black Panther run that was one of the main parts of Marvel Knights. Issue number 3 is now coming out on the 24th of September instead of the 10th of September. Issue 4 out of 6 is now coming out on the 15th of October instead of the 17th of September. And then Marvel Knights The World to Come issue number 5 is now coming out on the 29th of October instead of the 15th of October. Although I will say, do expect that date to move just in case. Issue number 4 of Predator Black, White, and Blood, which is a 4-issue series. This 4th issue is now coming out on the 22nd of October instead of the 1st of October. A big one for me and a big one for a lot of you as well. I'm hoping to make a video on the breakdown of this soon. The Dawn of X Omnibus Volume 1 is now being pushed to the 30th of September instead of the 16th of September, which would equal its delay along with the Blue and Gold Mutant Genesis Omnibus. I am probably going to be buying both of those the same day, so keep in tune. Ultimates by Denise Camp, volume number 3, Rescue Mission, is now coming out on the 17th of March instead of the 17th of February of next year. The 4th volume, and perhaps the final, of Jonathan Hickman's Ultimate Spider-Man is now coming out on the 5th of May instead of the 24th of March of next year. Chris Condon's Ultimate Wolverine is now seeing it be delayed to the 31st of March of next year instead of the 3rd of March. And Marvel Masterworks The Man-Thing Volume number 2 is now coming out on the 30th of September instead of the 23rd of September. Alright, let's go ahead and push through the DC release date updates, the first of which is the 162nd issue of Batman, volume number 3 from Rebirth. This is the second to the last issue of Batman Hush, which is now coming out on the 15th of October instead of the 17th of September, which are already going to make those delays for the Batman Hush storyline intertwining with the first arc of Matt Fraction's Batman all the more aware. Although no, this does not mean, like I said in one of the last month's videos, that those delays aren't going to hamper each other in terms of their timelines respectively. The 6th, or this is Immortal Legend Batman issue number 1, is getting delayed, but only for one cover, and this is the Omari cover. The Omari foil variant is still coming out on the 27th, but this specific variant is now coming out on the 3rd of September instead of the 27th of August. Issue 25 of friend Kelly Thompson's Birds of Prey run is now coming out on the 10th of September instead of the 3rd of September. The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, issue number 9 is coming out on the 22nd of October instead of the 10th of September of this year. This is the penultimate issue and Jeff Loeb's final goodbye to the world of The Long Halloween. We got a couple of DC Finest push forwards and one DC Finest pushback. This is a part of the Superman line in Time and Time Again. Superman Time and Time Again is now coming out on the 17th of February of next year instead of the 26th of May of next year. Quite an interesting push and jump through. I have never seen a 3-month jump skip, if you will, but a very welcome one indeed. The Flash, the fastest man dead, part of the Bronze Age era of the Flash, is now coming out on the 10th of March instead of the 14th of April. An all-star western, The Hangman Never Loses, the 14th of April of next year instead of the 10th of March. I have put the contents for the updated and issues down below. It initially had the 11-issue all-star western run from the 70s, but now it's got a couple of different issues. The Human Target by Tom King and Greg Smallwood Deluxe Edition is now coming out on the 9th of December instead of the 25th of November of this year. The connecting cover to Teen Titans Starfire is now coming out on the 14th of October instead of the 7th of October. Kid Flash Going Rogue, a graphic novel done by my good friend Steve Fox and Jerry Gaylord, is now coming out on the 3rd of February of next year instead of the 4th of November of this year. Batman and Robin Volume 2, The Gotham Cycle, is now coming out. Well, it's still coming out on the 24th of February, but it is now $17.99 and 136 pages instead of $19.99 and 176 pages. This was supposed to collect issues 20 to 25, but is now only going to have issues 20 to 24. And yeah, the big news that you're probably all hearing about, the Swamp Thing by Ron V and Mike Perkins omnibus is $100 for the same contents of $49.99. This previously was placed in the catalog as a deluxe edition. It is now an omnibus. I actually had a chance to talk to Ron V about this, and he confirmed with me on that interview that an omnibus of his Detective Comics run is coming, and that a deluxe of his Swamp Thing was coming. But then again, this was all the way back in December.
Yeah, we're gonna do a Detective Omnibus. I think there's talk about doing a Swamp Thing omnibus as well, or not omnibus, but
deluxe hardcover, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Plans change, and those plans are now to place an omnibus out. An Animal Man by Steve Dillon compendium is now coming at $100, and the reasons why it is $100, it is no longer a compendium, it is an omnibus. So this omnibus is going to be $100 for the same contents and the same page count instead of $59.99. All right, a couple of quick release date updates for the non-big two, if you will. Cycle Cleveland, if you're watching, hello. The first volume of the Gunsmith Cats Burst Omnibus is now coming out on the 10th of February of next year instead of the 3rd of February. Something is Killing the Children is now $17.99 instead of $14.99, again for volume number 9. The first deluxe edition of Jim Zub's Conan the Barbarian. This is now coming out on the 7th of October instead of the 16th of September. Savage Sword of Conan Omnibuses Volume 11 and 12 are both now $125 instead of $150. And volume number 6 of those omnibuses of Savage Sword, again, is now coming out on the 23rd of September instead of the 16th of September. TMNT issue number 12 is now coming out on the 8th of October instead of the 1st of October. Geiger issue number 18 is now coming out on the 24th of September instead of the 10th of September. Dark Room Volume 2, hardcover, oversized hardcover, if I may, is now coming out on the 14th of January of next year instead of the 31st of December. And last, we have the Conan the Barbarian box set, which is now coming out on the 7th of October of this year instead of the 9th of September of this year. If you haven't yet, check out our website, comicreleases.com, my and Webhead's love letter to comics, a hotspot where you can finally figure out what's coming out, when, from what place. Our unique upcoming website tracker in the Collected Editions tab makes sure that you're on top of every single collected edition coming out on the market with release date updates to the minute, from the tiniest graphic novels to the giant Generator Deluxe hardcovers as large as an absolute. Our unique spreadsheet not only gives out the most accurate information out there, but our format also filters and ensure that you can find your books as quickly as possible. The tracker also gives out links to domestic and international retailers so that you can purchase your comic books at the snap of a finger. We are also proud to host monthly solicitations as per given by the publishers that generously send us information to give to you all. From the Ultimate Universe to the creator-loved Oceans and Universes, we specialize in giving you the most readable format of solicitations without any of the annoying advertisements. If you also donate to our Patreon at just $2 a month, which is less than a coffee at Starbucks, you will receive access to a special watch list dedicated to individually tracking items that are on your wish list, past or present. Place in your tracking number and make sure that these books also not only come in safe, you can even put in special comments on these as well. On top of that, your name will also show up at the end of every single Dom of X video creates as a huge thank you. That is comicreleases.com. For more information, check this out down in the description. If you also want to contact me or Webhead, check the contact forms down in the description or email me down in the description. But that will be all for the update video. Let me know down in the comments section below if you are planning on purchasing any single one of these omnibuses or these deluxes or any of the issues here, or if you have any thoughts on the Swamp Thing by Rom V Omnibus and also the Tom Vake Animal Man Omnibus as well, to follow up your Grant Morrison volume. That's going to be it from me. I am Dom of X. Please stay tuned for more updates and have a domtastic day wherever you are.